Sawadee Krap, and welcome to this week's Phuket Xtra Extra, where we look at the big stories from the daily Phuket Extra program. Well, this week was the start of the trial for the people who are a standing trial for the Erawan shrine bombing last year. It was also the week that it rained in Pattaya. Not the time of the year it should be raining, but they put in a new drainage system and it didn't quite go to plan. Also, Nok Air was in the news this week with a big airline pilot strike last Sunday, and that caused a lot of problems and will be investigated in the future. Also, the week that we followed what happened to Milo, the orangutan from the Phuket Zoo. All those coming up on this week's Phuket Xtra Extra. In the wake of intense media attention over the Koh murders and the claims of police torture of the two accused Burmese, a similar claim is being made by one of the accused over the Erawan shrine bombing last August. JP has the rest of the story.
The man in custody for last year's deadly Bangkok bombing is changing his tune and says he did not have anything to do with the incident. Bilal Muhammad will appear in court today to hear formal charges along with the second suspect, Yusufu Meryali. Muhammad is the Chinese ethnic Uyghur who was arrested nearly 2 weeks after the August 17 bombing at the popular Erawan shrine in one of Bangkok's busiest areas. The blast killed 20 people, most of them tourists. Muhammad had originally confessed to the crime, but yesterday his lawyer told Reuters that he was tortured and coerced into confessing that he took part in the attack. The lawyer's sentiments harken back to what many in the public believe was the torture and forced confessions of two Burmese migrants who were jailed and sentenced for the killings of two British tourists in Koh Tao in 2014. Both Bangkok bombing suspects were charged by a military court in November, but neither Muhammad nor Meryali accepted or denied the charges because of translation issues. Police issued warrants for 17 people in connection with the attack, and 15 are still at large. JP Mastanza reporting for Phuket Extra.
Well, up to now, Thai police have provided no motive for the Erawan shrine bombing. The military court hearing starts today in Bangkok.
And expensive upgrades in Pattaya were not enough to stop the flow of epic floods. Tim Newton has that story.
Downpours in party town Pattaya have put a new 193 million baht upgrade to the beachfront drainage to the test, and it failed spectacularly. After an hour of heavy rain yesterday, Sukhumvit and beach roads were plunged into their usual flooded chaos. A 5-month construction project installed new drainage pipelines as wide as 2 metres and as long as 1.2 kilometres. Water rose up to 50 centimetres deep on Sukhumvit Road, bringing the seaside city's main artery to a standstill for an hour, even after the rain stopped. Tim Newton reporting for Phuket Extra. The Transport Ministry is ordering all 14 Thai-registered airlines to submit flight cancellation contingency plans to prevent a repeat of a Nok Air incident on Sunday. 9 of its flights were suddenly cancelled, leaving more than 1,400 passengers in the lurch. Nok Air, a budget airline 39% owned by Thai Airways, is understood to have been hit by a strike of more than 10 pilots upset at the enforcement of standards applied by the European Aviation Safety Agency. Some pilots didn't meet the new criteria. Finally, a group of monks in Bangkok tried to break through a military cordon to enter the Buddha Monton Park in Nakhon Pathom, the compound of the National Office of Buddhism. The troops couldn't stop the monks and their followers from breaking into the park, where thousands of supporters gathered to take action against alleged attempts to overthrow the Supreme Sangha Council, the official administration of Thai monks. The group is demanding that the National Office of Buddhism speed up the appointment process of the new Supreme Patriarch. The demonstration represents different networks of monks from around the country. Nice to see Thai monks so peaceful and gentle. We've had officers arrive from the Crime Suppression Division, also wildlife officers, around about 20 of them, and they're here as part of an inspection. Now, we've already found out that Milo, the 13-year-old orangutan, a female, she's not here at the zoo. We'll be finding out very soon from Vicky Keeley, who's been following this story, exactly what's happened to Milo and a background to the story. But for now, a bit of a meeting that we're not allowed to be involved in. We're now speaking to Kun Pisha, who is a consultant for the Phuket Zoo, and speaking on behalf of them today. We've also got Kun Mango from the Phuket News, who's going to provide a bit of interpretation. Kun Pisha, big question, where is orangutan Milo?
ค่ะคุณปีชาคะลิงอุรังอุตังไมโลตอนนี้อยู่ที่ไหนแล้วคะ
ลิงตอนนี้นะเราพาไปปล่อยแล้วนะปล่อยที่ภูเขาแถวเขาพระแทวอะนะแต่ถ้าชาวบ้านเขาหาเจอมัน
So คุณปีชา said Milo orangutan already released somewhere in the mountain in Khao Pattaya.
Did the zoo have all the documentation and certificates to keep Milo here? Was Milo at the zoo legally?
ทางภูเก็ตซูอะค่ะสวนสัตว์ภูเก็ตเนี่ยมีเอกสารหรือมี
ไม่มีอะไรทุกอย่างเลย
มีไลเซนส์ใบรับรอง
ไปจะเอาที่ไหนอะเข้ามาปล่อยใครมาให้คุณนะคุณถามคนนี้
โอเค
เขามาทิ้งเอาไว้อะ
ค่ะเดี๋ยวหนูขออนุญาตแปล So he said Milo orangutan doesn't have the certificate or document at all because of she used to be released. Then he keep her to be in the zoo.
As part of this ongoing story about Milo, we've spoken to a number of people. We're now speaking to Vicky Kiley. Vicky's been following Milo for up to 5 years and is very interested in the story and brought us to the attention of Milo a few weeks ago. Vicky, what's happening?
So basically, I moved to Phuket a couple of years ago, and when the dolphinarium opened next door here, I was waiting for the time. Actually, they wouldn't let me in, so I said I'd just come into the zoo and check on the welfare of the animals in here. And I saw Milo, and I'd remember seeing her years ago with my family when I'd been here. So she was terribly overweight, and I got some video and I sent it to other friends who are animal rights activists that had also been in for previous years, checking on her. They'd brought her in toys and different stimuli to kind of enrich her environment, which were all taken away. So I think people have campaigned for her in the past.
Is it wrong for a zoo to have an orangutan in it?
Is it right to have a zoo, full stop? I don't. Yeah,
A bigger question.
Yeah, I mean, I can. My answer is going to be it's 100% wrong to have an orangutan.
Okay, let's talk about Milo. Milo's not here today. We've had the officials come in. What do we know about where Milo is? They're saying she's been released to the wild. It seems a very unsatisfactory answer.
Yeah, it's very concerning to me, and I think this might be a bit of a wild goose chase. I don't know. So I mean, I checked her enclosure. She's not there. She normally responds if I knock on the roller blind. So she's not there. I'm actually very concerned for her well-being. If they say that they've dumped her into the forest, she's only had human care, so she won't know how to really take care of herself. She'll struggle. And she's very overweight, so she's not very mobile. She only moves, if you see I've got a video where she only moves from her room to the seat. That's it. That's her exercise for the day. So I think she's going to struggle. I'm very concerned. Hopefully we can get in touch with the Wildlife Reserve today and see if there's been any sight of her, but I don't know, Tim.
I don't want to put words in your mouth, but
exactly.
Do you think what we've seen today is just a bit of a snow job? It seemed to me when the officials arrived here, they were very chummy with the officials here at the zoo. What's going on?
Well, I just followed them around, so they didn't even stop at Milo's enclosure. They just kept on going. They seem to have a list of animals, so I think they're doing an inspection of the zoo and checking which animals are registered to be here. It's my guess. Again, this is just a guess. So they completely just bypassed her. I even tried to stop one of them and say this is where she was, and they didn't want to listen. So I'm hoping that with the proof that we've got in the last few weeks of her being here, that there will be a search for her.
Vicky, thank you very much for your interest in Milo's welfare. Thank you for bringing the story to the attention of the Phuket News and Phuket Extra. And if anybody knows any more about Milo or sees Milo out in the wild, please get in contact with us, and we promise that we'll keep you up to date with the story about Milo. This has been Phuket Extra, today coming to you from the Phuket Zoo. Well, that's all for this week's Phuket Extra. Thank you very much for watching. We're back again on Tuesday because Monday's a public holiday, and we'll see you then.
Phuket's authentic Indian cuisine has arrived to Bollywood Phuket Restaurant and Bar. Open 11 to 11 and closed Tuesdays. Go to bollywoodphuket.com.